After a year of voter-delivered surprises, questions like this barely raise an eyebrow, shouted during an official visit by Belgium's Prime Minister.
Do you trust Nigel Farage to be our ambassador, Prime Minister?
But after Brexit and more recently Trumpquake, the global political landscape is more Salvador Dali than John Constable. This kicked off today's surreal exchange, a tweet from Donald Trump. Many people would like to see Nigel Farage represent Great Britain as their ambassador to the United States. He would do a great job, he wrote.
Come here, Nigel, come here, this guy.
It follows an introduction forged by Mississippi's governor during the presidential campaign, Mr. Trump shaking Brexit's anti-establishment tree. But his intervention puts Kim Darroch, our current man in Washington, in a diplomatic tight spot. He was called back to London for a meeting with Theresa May at number 10. Mr. Darroch had already expressed reservations about Donald Trump. In a memo leaked to the Sunday Times, he wrote, "The president-elect is above all an outsider and unknown quantity, whose campaign pronouncements may reveal his instincts, but will surely evolve, and particularly be open to outside influence if pitched right." Mr. Farage has told Sky News he wouldn't want that job anyway.
And are you up for the job?
Oh, I don't think I'm the ambassadorial type. I mean, whatever talents or flaws I've got, I'm not sure diplomacy is necessarily at the top of my list of skills.
But today he took to the right-wing Breitbart website to say, "At every stage I'm greeted by negative comments coming out of Downing Street. The dislike of me, UKIP and the referendum result is more important to them than what could be good for our country. I have known several of the Trump team for years, and I'm in a good position with the president-elect's support to help. The world has changed, and it's time that Downing Street did too." However, that dislike was on full display in the House of Commons.
There should be no place for anyone who expresses inflammatory and what sometimes could be considered to be bordering on racist views in representing this country in discussions with the United States.
Secretary.
I'm grateful to my honourable friend, and I think he catches the mood of the House, Mr. Speaker, and I think we've already settled that question. We have an excellent ambassador in Washington doing a first-rate job, and there is no vacancy.
A former incumbent of the ambassadorial role says the diplomatic intervention is without precedent.
Your primary role is to safeguard your country's interests and represent the UK to the US, not the US back to the UK. Farage would find himself caught in a complete bind over this with divided loyalties.
Sky News understands Donald Trump has hinted to UKIP's leadership that he wants to come to the UK after his inauguration. Convention would suggest a state visit involving a meeting with Her Majesty, even if Mr. Trump's hand-picked diplomatic go-between is politely rejected. Robert Nisbet, Sky News, Westminster.